the state governments, which we know, that few of them have passed that law. Not letting me one. Two of them have circumvented the law already. In the state assembly, if they continue, and also a few others try to emulate them, we'll do our own by taking other actions. There are many actions we can take. We must not take action collectively as a Senate of Federal Republic of Nigeria. Mind you, we must take action individually or collectively within the ambit of law. But rest assured that we are not going to just, I don't believe in passing motion for passing sake, because I know that few of them are determined to still be siphoning this money. They are hell-bent to keep on siphoning this money. So if they do so, we go to another level. Freedom comes by struggle. We are not going to fold our arms. No retreat, no surrender. Thank you. By answering the question of my friend, Senator from Hendumuru. I don't know. He's a popular journalist. When I was student leader, I know you, Sha. Anyway, nobody can coerce me here. I was not coerced. There was no attempt to coerce me, because I'm speaking the mind of my people who sent me here. What happened was that the Senate deliberated pros and cons. I don't supposed to discuss what happened in our executive section. It was the Senate President allowed for free ventilation of ideas and opinions. And the majority, more than overwhelming majority, was of opinion that the motion should scale through. And the issue of amendment came on the prayer. Normally, once there's a motion, there must be amendment if there is a need. So, and if the amendment comes, it must not be the person who proposed the motion who will bring the amendment. So, the amendment came, and the person that canvassed the highest argument on the amendment was allowed or was asked to read the amendment for the prayer, only prayer. So they compressed the prayers to be 2-point prayer. That was what we did. So it was a brotherly and family interaction. More than 90-something% of us told the same line. And our senior president, being democratic, more than enough. All of us agreed on that. I don't supposed to discuss what happened inside, but that was what transferred. So there was no question to anybody. So I think my friend that asked about what transpired, we came from different backgrounds. We have some learned lawyers, we have former speakers among us who are senators, at least up to 4. We have senior advocates among us. We have former Attorney General of State Attorney General, who is also now a senator, who was also former governor among us. So we had to argue, and they came with their different opinions, and many governors, and over 90-something% we are singing the same thing, and we came out, and the deputy senate president was asked to read the amendment to the prayer. That was what happened.
Last question. Yes.
Answer your question, sir. Number one is that the issue of local government election being conducted by state ISEC is a constitutional matter. And the Supreme Court has not given judgment to the contrary. I'm aware that there is a constitutional amendment as it concerns conduct of local government election. I'm also aware that in the past, that the National Assembly passed the law, but some few state governors mounted pressure on the State House of Assembly, because State House of Assembly to 10 must pass it, and the thing failed at the State Assembly level. Don't expect something much different this time around. The National Assembly will still go and pass the law, the amendment, but if it comes to the states, whatever happens, unless our president goes to intervene, to advise the governors, or else the result you might see when this law one national government passes this thing and goes to state for concurrence, as it concerns federal INEC conducting an election, may not be different from what we saw in the past. We are saying that since these governors have selected who they wanted at the local government, councillors and council chairmen, they selected them. Some of them did election, some of them just did selection, just like you said. But our own is that, yes, you have selected them. Give them their money. Allow them to work. You don't trust them, but you selected them. Allow them to work. I can even tell you further that some of the state governors, few of them, I know few of them, who went and asked them to sign backdated letter of resignation, that if they don't allow them to be taking this money, they will now say they have resigned. So our own is to speak out. We have passed a motion, we are going to take it more than having passed a motion. Be rest assured that some few of them who are doing this will say, don't mind the Senate. If they want, let them go to court. Whoever don't mind Tony and their colleagues, let them go to court. They continue. Imagine by tomorrow, President Ahmed Bola Tinubu would hold the allocation. Let me tell you, sir, go to the grassroots. People say, people are suffering under President Bola Tinubu's government, just like they were saying under Buhari and other governments. But those people at the grassroots don't know that the amount the governors receive, that they are using for whatever they want. Not all the governors, few of them anyway. They don't know that some of them that are supposed to benefit at local government level, vis-a-vis their local government funds, that the governors are the one. They don't know. They are ignorant. So this one is the fault of federal government. The answer is no. That is why the federal government decided to come by this suit. And there was a judgment. And we have seen that they want to make mess of the Supreme Court judgment. Why some of them became governors, few of them became governors, through instrumentality of Supreme Court. So the same Supreme Court are not giving judgment. You don't want to obey it. You want to use state assembly to circumvent it. I rest my case. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
The issue has been discussed in the Senate. And the Senate has taken a decision. And I'm duty bound to stand by the decision of the Senate. Actually, my motion, as you said, encapsulates giving full autonomy to 774 local governments in Nigeria. Remember that some former governments, previous federal governments, or former presidents, had made moves to give financial autonomy to our local governments via executive order. For instance, the former president, President Muhammad Buhari, was able to enact an executive order on this financial autonomy. But somewhere along the line, it was not fully implemented. But President Bola Ahmed Tinubu led government, through the Attorney General of the Federation, on May 26, 2024, went and filed this all-important suit at the Supreme Court. And this all-important Supreme Court, they joined the entire 36 states governments. And the 36 state governments came and filed their defenses. And the Supreme Court, being the apex law of the land, on its wisdom, heard all the parties and gave a consolidated judgment on July 11, 2024. And this judgment is not ambiguous, is not contradictory. They took arguments canvassed by different state governments through the Attorney General and the senior advocates of Nigeria, which they gave their services. One of the arguments they canvassed is the issue of creation of state joint account by our 1999 Constitution, section, I think, 262, 162, subsection 6. These are the arguments before the Supreme Court. The state governments canvassed this argument before Supreme Court. And the Supreme Court, on its wisdom, looked at all the arguments and came up with a decision. Not only a decision, and order compelling state government, state governor, using any name, whether you use joint account, whether you use it as a joint security, any name, any nomenclature from tampering with this money. So we are disturbed that some state government using instrumentality of House of Assemblies now started enacting laws. For instance, my own state government. I don't want to be personal about it. That is why I didn't mention any state in my motion. Yesterday they passed their own. The state government of Anambra, they just passed their own yesterday. House of Assembly passed their own yesterday. Creating almost 3 bodies. While the Supreme Court said in relief 9 and relief 12, as granted relief 9, relief 10, relief 12, page 54 and page 55. Supreme Court, through Justice Agim Emmanuel, JSC, who espoused or wrote the lead judgment, say, under any name, any guise, don't tamper with that money again. Don't touch that money again. Don't manage that money again. Don't partake in disbursing that money again. Allow it. And Justice Adume Moore, Justice of Supreme Court, who also wrote a contributing judgment, said that some state governments, through the settlement of the House of Assembly, are converting the state assembly as their colonies. That the local government system, they are using a choke. Oh, what a choke? They are choking the local government system. That if care is not taken, the local government system in Nigeria will go to extinction. That is why they say court must intervene. And that is why Supreme Court intervened. We are duty bound. All the organs in Nigeria, all the courts in Nigeria are duty bound to obey the judgment of Supreme Court. Court is not subject for anyone to say that is contradictory, because this argument of this section they are talking about in the Constitution was canvassed. That argument was canvassed by state government. That was their plank of the argument before Supreme Court. And Supreme Court looked at the whole argument. Supreme Court, being a policy court, said, all this argument, this is our decision. Don't do it. So if there's anything that President Ahmed Bola Tinubu has done that we, the lawmakers, we, the Nigerians, should eulogize him, should support him about, is to give autonomy to local government. I don't belong to APC now. I belong to Labour Party. But what I'm talking about doesn't have to do with party. Poverty, insecurity, corruption does not know party. It does not know religion. It does not know tribe. The problem of Nigeria tomorrow, they say it belongs to party A, party B, is Hausa, is Yoruba, is... Let us call a spade a spade. That is why I decided to come by this way of motion. And I thank God that the Senate, in their wisdom, adopted the motion. They only did amendments to the prayer, and it was adopted. That is all I can say for now. So, as I said, Senate has taken a decision, adopted the motion. I don't supposed to talk further, but because of the fact that people have already invited me in writing, they brought it, I say, I have to make myself available. Thank you and God bless you. Answer now?
Yes,
okay, thank you for your question. Let me tell you, the problem of payment of salaries, that is not a major issue. The major issue is that, for instance, if Alimosho local government in Lagos State, if they are receiving 400 million from Federation account, maybe after payment of salaries and everything, maybe payment of salaries, teachers and co, might take me say 100 million, I'm trying to waiver. What happens to almost 300 million? Where does it go to? And let me tell you, sir, with due respect, the fear that some local government chairmen will siphon their money, if they are allowed to control their money, will not arise. Do you know the reason? By then, we did not have some agencies like EFCC, ICPC, and NFIU. As of then, we are talking about. Right now, we have EFCC, ICPC, and NFIU. I'm the Senate Committee Vice Chairman on Anti-Corruption that comprises EFCC, NFIU, and ICPC. And I'm aware that the President Ahmed Bola Tinubu-led government has given directive or are working in conjunction with these 3 security agencies to ensure that any local government chairman who receive this money must distribute this money, ensure 100% payment of salaries and arrears to people that are supposed to pay, vis-a-vis the teachers and the non-gate staff or workers. Secondly, that they don't misappropriate this money. This is very important because you agree with me that local government chairmen, they don't have immunity. So they are subject for invitation, for investigation, for arrest, and for prosecution immediately. Unlike the governors, I'm not even any governor, who you have to wait till the end of his or her tenure to invite. So what we're saying is that any local government chairman, the EFCC, ICPC, and NFI have it on good intelligence that periodically they must be given periodic reports on what they are using this money to do, because the money belongs to federal government. The money that they generate by IGR, Intelligence Revenue, the local government chairman or state government, whatever way they want to do, they do with it. But we are talking about this money coming from federation accounts. This money that you and I pay through tax and VAT, this money through our oil, through some of the agencies that generate money, that federal government remits to them, let it be used, because you agree with me that the major source of insecurity today, major source of unemployment that local government system in Nigeria is almost dead. So if anyone does not do what he or she is supposed to do with the money, we are going to count. Let me give you, I come from Anambra's local government. It's unfair that money for my local government, after payment of salary, is 70 or 80% of the money, use it to do whatever you want to do, because you're a state governor. The state government, I'm sorry to say, I'm not beside them. After I once contested to be governor, I'm not trying to be envious of them. The President Bola Ahmed Tinubu gave them what they call infrastructure fund. They are collecting from ecological fund, mainly for disaster only. They are collecting state allocation. Some states that have oil are collecting 30% revenue, including my own state. So why is it that they don't trust these local government chairmen and councillors
To hold their own money.
to hold their money? And they wrote their results. Some of them say did the election. Some just wrote results. So the people you have written their names as councillors and council chairmen, allow them to hold their money. If there is use the money, we use EFCC, ICPC, and NFIU. That's why federal government set up a presidential committee headed by one of the respected former governor, a former senator of Federal Republic, Senator Akume George, to head this committee. Academy of Federation is a member. AGF, Minister of Finance is a member. Governors have their representative. It does not augur well that a whole Supreme Court, which the state governments subjected themselves to defend that suit, they filed their defenses. And Supreme Court look at all the issues they are raising. This section, once you are talking about such subsections, and he came out with a decision to say, this is our decision. Don't use any name. Don't create whether you call it joint account, this one, that one. Stop it. We are giving order. It is not left for us. If they feel that Supreme Court has given a bad judgment, let them go back to Supreme Court for them to reverse themselves. But I can tell you that if you feel the pulse of Nigerians, they are happy.
Yes.
It's not the President Tinubu that will go and implement it. I'm sorry to say, I'm not holding grief for him. The man has done his own bit. We, some of us who are activists, I'm an activist more than a politician. Forget about being a senator or not. I'm more of an activist than a politician. We are duty bound to speak out. Tomorrow I might be governor, tomorrow I may not be governor. But we are duty bound to answer ourselves the questions. The people at the grassroots, go to some of the local governments, is overcovered by bush, most of them. Go to poverty is so much endemic in many society. Insecurity, many youths are unemployed because the government closest to the grassroots has been reduced to nothing. That is my interest on this thing. And if we don't speak out, they will be doing what they want. Like few states have passed it already. Use state assembly. To state assembly will now pass law that will now vitiate the judgment Supreme Court has already giving a decision. And they were party to it. Not only that Supreme Court judgment is supposed to bind them, we are parties to the suit. I drop my heart for the president for that novel idea. With due respect, we are the Labour Party, we are opposition, but in being criticizing as opposition, we should be constructive. I'm not part of their government. We are Labour Party. I'm a proud Labour Party senator, very proud Labour Party senator. But the issue is that we must call a spade, even if I'm alone in what I'm saying, because the unemployment level is so high. That is the answer to your question. Being my friend from the time we were in Punch, how can you just come? I'm not the spokesman of Labour Party, and I'm here on the issue that borders my constituent and Nigerians as it concerns the granting full autonomy to local government. And you're asking me a question about Labour Party. The earlier we emphasize about the party in Nigeria, the better for us.